It's the Andy and Dave Daily right here on the Muskegon channel. Andy O'Reilly, the one and only Dave Cackley over there. It is a Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
Whittling
it
out
is.
the ends of September here. The gales
Cool,
of November
crisp.
fastly approaching.
Yeah.
Well, we got October in the middle
It's
there.
not even October yet.
I know. Well,
Don't
sorry.
jump a month ahead.
I know. Well, I get confused. You know?
Okay.
So before we came on the air, Dave was contemplating talking about something, and he said he wanted to save it for the air. And I said, should we call it True Confessions with Dave?
Sure, why not?
Is this something that's burdening you, my son? Hang on.
It's not really burdening me. It's one of those things that I was thinking about things as a kid that other kids seem to do that I was like, you guys are dumb. This is stupid. Why are you doing it? Towel snapping.
Oh.
Towel snapping was the dumbest, most ridiculous, stupid thing. It's in the top 5 dumb things kids would do. Yep. And I never got it. And I've got a sneaking suspicion that every kid who was a towel snapper when they were kids turned into a dick as an adult. I firmly believe that. Firmly, that's just one of the most. What are you doing? Especially like right after you're done swimming, everybody's changed your clothes, and then you get one of those in an area where you don't want to get them. I still remember the pain of that. That was awful. That was awful. I can't even remember who did it.
Right.
But I'm sure he's a dick now.
But I'm going to tell you what. It's strange that you bring this up because.
Go ahead.
You know, as you live your life, there are snapshots of your past that are the ultimate regret. Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't consider myself a dick per se.
Okay.
However, when we were kids, we had a travel trailer that we would go visit on weekends at a little resort up by Mecosta. And, Mecosta, Big Rapids up there and all that other stuff.
Yeah, right.
And as the occasional treat, we'd get to bring a cousin or we'd get to bring a friend or something like that. Well, one weekend, my sister got to bring my cousin Susie, and we were coming in from the lake, and it's time to get changed and blah, blah, blah. And we're up there, and it was just the kids in the trailer, and we were playing the towel snap game, right?
What? It's not a game.
Well, hear me out. We're just playing, and there was no intent or anything like that, but we're snapping towels back and forth and all this. I had my beach towel, and I went like that. It caught my cousin Susie right in the upper part of her leg.
Oh, okay.
Dude, the kid went down. It everything just lined up perfect, and it went, and she literally hit the floor. To this day, it haunts me. Remembering what happened, and there was no intent. There was no intent to hurt her or anything like that. We're just, this is fun, snap, snap, blah blah. And this one just went crack. It caught her right in that upper part of her.
Somebody goes down, and then it's not fun anymore.
And I'm going to tell you what, the welt, it left a welt like that.
Yeah.
To this day, thanks. Now all day long today, I'm going to feel like
you should repent for that sin, young man.
I'm going to go light a votive candle.
That was awful.
It was awful.
I hate it. Towel snappers drove me insane. I was like, you're idiots. I don't like any of you now.
Now, what brought this up? Were you at the TV
I don't
13
know.
showers
Well,
this
you
morning?
were talking about you were talking about punching certain areas, and I was like, you were one of those, and you're like, no, I didn't.
No,
and then I was,
I never was.
And then I started thinking about then the towel snap thing came because I hate that. It just irritated me.
I thought maybe you and Offsire had to have a shower this morning or something.
No, we don't shower together. We rarely shower together.
Okay.
It's not something we do together ever. Like, I don't think I've ever been over to his house. He never went over to mine. So yeah. And there's not a communal shower here at the station, so there's none of that going on.
Okay, well.
At least I don't think. I mean, there might be one somewhere, like downstairs in the basement, off in the corner somewhere.
Right.
Maybe shenanigans. I don't know.
You could take a shower.
Say again?
You got the mop room.
I'm sure there's a bathroom. There's a little washroom where you could wash up.
Right.
I guess you could take the homeless man shower.
Right.
Sink or whatever, but no, we don't do that. Anyway,
I look back on that incident with my cousin Sue, and you know what? When I get to the pearly gates, St. Peter's going to be sitting there going, "You got some splaining to do." What happened here?
Why is St. Peter a Hispanic?
Well, he's put a little flair in it.
Okay, you were
the
doing
pearly gates isn't a bad thing. It's he wants to have a little fun when you get there too.
So you think he's going to do a Mexican accent?
No, he's going to do Ricky Ricardo.
He was Cuban. That's right. I'm sorry. Yeah. I confused Mexican. My bad.
Don't try and pigeonhole me.
I wasn't trying to pigeonhole you at all. I was just a little curious as to why you would do what I now know is a Cuban accent.
See?
As St. Peter, deciding whether or not to allow.
What do you know about St. Peter?
Eternity.
He could have been Cuban.
What do you mean? St. Peter was not Cuban.
You don't know
we know this. No, he's Middle Eastern. They were all Middle Eastern.
Might have been.
Sorry.
He could have been a traveler. Cradle
of civilization. Sorry. Anyway, can I move on into the hard news? The hard scramble world of the goings on?
Are we going to be talking about yesterday's comedy show at the UN?
No, we're not. Although that evidently went well. I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, it went great.
That's what, you know.
When the leader of your country gets laughed at by the rest of the world, that's always a plus. Put that
one. I don't care. I honestly, like I said, I don't care. I'm not outraged by him. I'm not impressed. I'm not anything. Really? And the world is still spinning. We're all fine. This is what I said. The president does not impact your life, my life, the lives of most people. It doesn't.
Okay.
What happens at the UN? Who cares? Okay. I don't care. All Does Brett Kavanaugh get confirmed? Does he not? I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care. But anyway, that is my first story. The Senate Judiciary Committee has scheduled a vote for Brett Kavanaugh's nomination to the Supreme Court for Friday morning at 9:30. This is just a day after the panel is set to hear testimony from Kavanaugh and Christine Ford. Ford, of course, accusing Kavanaugh of sexually assaulting her during a high school party in the 1980s. Now, apparently, they're saying there are 4 people who are, I don't know if they've issued statements saying this happened, and I don't know if it did or it didn't, but this is what I was trying to think back to high school, just thinking back to college, which, going back 20 years for me, 20 plus years for me. I can't remember specific events definitively what happened. I mean, things get a little foggy once you get a decade, 2 decades out. Once again, not saying that the testimony, in fact, they may even think it happened. And maybe it did. I don't know. The problem is, I don't know.
Okay.
And can you convict a guy on, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Convicting him? No.
Not convicting him, but, now, here's the thing, though. Is that going to be enough to sway 3 or 4 Republicans?
We'll see.
I don't know. We shall see. What else is going on? Comedy legend Bill Cosby. He's going to prison.
Yep.
Judge on Tuesday sentenced the 81-year-old to 3 to 10 years for drugging and assaulting Andrea Coruscant 14 years ago. In addition to jail time, Cosby will be classified as a violent sexual predator if and when released, requiring lifetime registration. Now, you think back to when we were kids, if one of these things was going to happen, you knew 30 years down the road, one of these 2 things was going to happen. America's favorite dad, Bill Cosby, was going to turn out to be a serial rapist, or there would be flying cars. I would have put all the money in the world on flying cars. I would never have thought this would have happened. I mean, O.J. Simpson being a murderer was shocking. This, when it comes to celebrity, just what? I mean, the Weinstein thing, producers doing that in Hollywood, that doesn't. Bill Cosby.
Right.
It's still shocking.
I guess yesterday when I saw the headlines, and of course everybody's going to break into everything with the live coverage and yada, yada, yada.
This is huge. I mean, this is
in all honesty,
enormous.
I was like, okay, good. Just be done with it. Get good. I felt annoyed. It's like everybody knew it was coming. Everybody's. It's so old news at this point. That's what I felt.
Yeah. Oh, it's still, but isn't it still a shot that it's Bill Cosby? When you think about of all the comics, like let's say it turned, and I don't like casting aspersions on anybody, but let's say it was Bill Maher. Would it have been as shocking? No, it wouldn't have been. And I'm not saying, and I wouldn't.
I'm not a big Bill Maher
of the 2 of them. I'm not a big Bill Maher fan either. But what I'm saying is, one of those two guys is going to turn out to be a serial rapist, Bill Maher or Bill Cosby. Which Bill? Yeah. Which Bill are you picking? Well, that's another situation. I'm throwing all my money on Bill Maher. And, you know, with no accusations of anything surrounding Bill Maher. But I would have.
I'd just like to say this, Bill Maher, in case you're watching, that's all Dave. I have nothing to do with this.
What? I'm just saying. I think Bill Maher would have put money on Bill Maher. I do. I was like, well, you know, I might have gotten drunk and then decided, I'm just. I don't know. I'm glad it's
over. And you know what? Shame on Bill Cosby. But you know.
And good for Bill Maher not being a serial rapist.
There you have it.
Congratulations. I mean, we're setting the bar low for everybody now. You have not drugged. It's
terrible, man.
It's just stunningly horrible. Yeah. I can't. Wow. Finally, this is a downshift. How do you segue from this? We went from, you know, Supreme Court nominee accused of this stuff, Bill Cosby convicted. We're downshifting to elementary school playgrounds. Elementary school in Muskegon Heights getting a new playground. Here we go. This is how you wrap up. This is how you end light. Light.
Little spritz of positive on us here.
There we go. A little positive. It is your positively.
Here's me sprinkling positive.
After all. Yeah, there you go. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School on Sherman Boulevard currently just has an empty field for students during recess. The new playground equipment is scheduled to be installed sometime in mid-October. So good for them. Great. They, you know, have to run around and play in a dirt field now. They get, you know, monkey bars and I'm assuming a teeter-totter. Do they have teeter-totters now? Or are those dangerous? I don't know. Yeah. See, I didn't as a kid. That's another thing I wasn't into. Because some kid would always do that thing where they got off and you went from up here and then boom, your butt hit the ground real hard and you had a bruised tailbone and that was no fun. No fun for anybody. God, kids were awful way back when. Yeah. Anyway, sports. Cubs lose. Pittsburgh blanks the Cubbies 6-0. They're kind of, you know, stumbling into the playoffs. But, you know, this is what I'm wondering. This is another thing that puzzles me. You know, the Cubs went 100+ years without winning a World Series, and now they've won one. I mean, they're just every other team. They're not the lovable losers anymore. They're not the. Do you care about the Cubs now? I mean, is there any story? The Cleveland Indians,
to me, they're National
are the only one.
There's something about the National League.
No, but the Cubs winning the World Series was a huge thing. Now, okay, Cleveland has been the sad sack forever.
Right.
Now,
but
will it be the Cleveland Indians?
You got to keep in mind, Cleveland's got Rick Vaughn. They've got Pedro Serrano. They've got, you know, they're always a threat.
You know, you got Jimmy Gammon has done a great job with that team.
You better believe he has. Love that Jimmy Gammon. He's a hell of a coach. Can't do that impression like I used to, man.
It's still solid. I give that a B-. That's all right. That's all right. 2.8 GPA there for the Jimmy Gammon. All right, that's sports.
Tigers are on their way back. Get that $20 ready.
Whatever.
That's it.
Get out of here.